to President Martindale, to Senator Sessions, to Mayor Bright, Troy State Chancellor Jack Hawkins Jr., Dr. Dorothy Height, Ms. Johnny Carr, Juanita Abernathy, Ms. Mamie Teal Mobley, to all of the distinguished program participants and guests in this audience today. It's a great honor and privilege for me to join you in celebrating the grand opening of the Rosa Parks Library and Museum. History teaches us that all great freedom movements began with an inspiring act of courage. And in this regard, the American Civil Rights Movement provides a supreme example. The library and museum we dedicate today is a living testament to the courage, commitment, and character of the great woman whose act of courage sparked our freedom struggle, the woman we call Mrs. Rosa Louise Parks. In her extraordinary courage and humility, Mrs. Rosa Parks provided our movement with a matchless example of the very spirit of nonviolence. Her strength and unshakable determination, her calm, deeply felt faith, and pragmatic approach to social justice all added immeasurable credibility to our nonviolent movement. As my husband, Martin Luther King Jr. wrote, Mrs. Parks' refusal to cooperate with racism on that historic day was based on her personal sense of dignity and self-respect. By the accumulated indignities of the days gone by and the boundless aspirations of generations yet unborn. Surely, Mrs. Rosa Parks was sent to us by God because few others were so well prepared to play such a momentous role in history. On that fateful day of days, 45 years ago, just across the street, in the very spot where the library and museum that bears her name now stands, the bus driver picked on one of the most admired and respected women of Montgomery. In a city full of extraordinary African-American women, the rhetoric of American democracy finally had its day of reckoning with God's justice in the person of Rosa Parks. And by the sheer force of her will, she set in motion a revolution that continues to reverberate in nation after nation and remains an inspiration to human liberation movements everywhere. And now we have a beautiful place where freedom and justice-loving pilgrims from all around the world can come and be educated, uplifted, and inspired by her wonderful life and legacy. And I must thank the Montgomery Improvement Association and Troy State University, Montgomery, for providing the tireless leadership that made this wonderful facility a reality. And so on this 45th anniversary of her heroic act of nonviolent resistance, we dedicate this unique library and museum with deepest respect, appreciation, and love for one of the nation's greatest freedom fighters, Mrs. Rosa Louise Parks. We dedicate this museum and library not so much as a monument to the past, but as an invaluable resource for students and for the civil and human rights struggles of our times. And for coming generations, we pledge to honor Mrs. Rosa Parks with our unflagging dedication to use this library and museum as a resource to help end racism in spirit and in deed through nonviolence, education, and action. With this faith and this commitment, the dream will surely become a radiant reality. Thank you, and God bless you all.